Hi, Rich Latimer here from the Awareness Shows program, which is a social and emotional wellbeing program delivered in high schools internationally using music, storytelling, and with the recent events, which I can imagine that as teachers it's been an incredible process to transition from your in-school environments to, in many cases, offline and homeschool and online learning. These shows are shows that traditionally we would deliver in an assembly format where an entire school would attend a concert, and we move through a range of topics in and around substance issues, depression, violence, social issues, bullying, and a range of topics. And we've now started to work with some of the topics that we will see potentially emerging with teenagers being at home and the challenges that isolation will bring. We had a number of these concerts booked to do this year in high schools, which is now obviously not happening. So we decided that we would work out how to adapt quick enough to be able to deliver these as a live stream. Live because the students can then know that that's happening in that moment. It can be, as it was, a part of their normal curriculum at a certain day and time to attend the concert, and it will be specific to each school. So each school will have its own live concert with its own login for their students to be able to attend on any given device that they want to use. And the big thing I want to say first of all is that to teachers watching this, how incredible you are, and I've been inside a school environment myself. I've worked as a student support worker for a number of years in a high school, in a highly disadvantaged high school, and the intensity of that workload alone, let alone the situation that you're facing now. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I feel that having a broad range of options in an online environment could be a godsend. So this program is tried and tested. We have an excellent online post-show follow-up process that can help identify students that may be at risk or in need, and it's certainly something a bit out of the ordinary as well. As a professional musician in my own right, I'm releasing a record internationally at the moment, and I'm also an entrepreneur and work in the digital and online space, so it's kind of a perfect fit. So essentially the show format is a story, song and conclusion, which in a way is kind of, if it was in a lesson plan type environment, it would be setting up the concept of what we're going to learn that day, diving into the material that stimulates that learning, so the story tends to do that. The song actually brings more the emotional connection and the willingness for the young people to really absorb what's being taught. And then coming out of the song, there's usually a wrap-up or an explanation of how that situation was resolved, or what they might be able to do in that situation, whether it be reach-outs or communicating at home or online. So we would love an opportunity to present for your students, and we have a range of different economic models to support that. And we don't believe that just because of this situation, the isolation, that amazing things like concerts and music, which are such a unifying and impactful method of reaching people, should be shut down. And so I hope you take the opportunity to look at the links below and engage with us to have a discussion how we might be able to do that for your school. Right now, I can imagine you're time poor, and maybe that's enough for you, but I'm going to sing one song, give an example at the moment. So this song here is a song that was written from my teenage brother who was in a vehicle accident, a drink drive accident. And so it speaks to topics in and around substance issues, choice making, social persuasion, and those areas. Normally I would start and tell the story. So essentially him attending a party, there being alcohol, and there being pressures of different kinds in that scenario. Then there's a group of young people who decide to get in a vehicle, thinking that it's okay at that point and that everything's going to be fine, which happens a lot. And he ends up in the ICU ward. There ends up one young person passes away, and he ends up in the ICU ward for a large number of weeks, with not a great deal of hope for his survival at the time. And I started to sing this song to him during that process he was going through with the family there in the ICU ward, as a way of connecting with him and being with him. And this song is called Heart's Embrace, and the message really that it passes is in and around having an awareness of choices that you make where you might have a hesitation, you have a feeling that decision you're about to make might seem light at the time, but there's a sense that there could be an impact there. So there was a perception around the danger of doing that, but often, particularly teenagers, often will put that aside and kind of make these reckless choices unless they've been encouraged and they've been through experiences, or they've had experiences shared to make clearer decisions and well thought out decisions. So this is Heart's Embrace. In the echoes of our silence, through the shadows of our being, may your soul reach out to find us. Keep our spirits near. Sing your song now for a while. Sing your song until Lord hearts embrace. Sing along now for a while. Sing along until Lord hearts embrace. Until all hearts embrace. There's a portion of the song for you, and traditionally I'll come out of that song where there's a feeling created through the delivery of the song and the melody and the power that music has to do that, and then speak directly to the youth in relation to awareness and consciousness around their choices around risky behaviour, particularly in this time where they're going to be isolated and they're going to be faced with difficult choices as well. So during the shows, there's this live dialogue essentially happening where each of those topics are being presented. I myself am at home. You can hear the puppy outside chasing birds. This here is where we're going to do it, which is Temple 7 Studios, and we're going to work on our equipment and make sure that we've got also the ability to have someone on the sidelines, or a number of people, while the live video is happening, who actually be able to engage with some of the students if they're wanting to comment or whatnot. And then obviously after the show, send out a survey of sorts, which then we liaise with the student welfare officers and the deputy principals as needed, depending on that form. Then we maintain contact, and we're going to continue to put out great information for students during this time. And the whole show takes about sort of 45 minutes for the music delivery, and up to about an hour and 15 with the dialogue, hour and a half maximum with after show conversation. So when the music delivery is over, even though there'll be someone that can liaise with the students live in comments, or if they're watching on their phones or their iPads, then after the show I'm able to have a dialogue. So students who want to talk about one of the songs or one of the stories or And that tends to be the case. So one song will hit a bunch of students here and another song will impact there. So really look forward to an opportunity to work with your school. And thanks for watching this. And again, brilliant job that you are all doing in this challenging time.